early adaptation to mobile credentials during COVID. You couldn't touch anything. It made a lot of sense.
Yep.
It raised a lot of awareness to the technology. So we then saw momentum. We're past that now, and we're at a point now where people want the convenience and the security of it. So from a very broad perspective, for people who might be new to the technology, could you just please explain to me, what are mobile credentials?
Okay, so it's asking, what is time, or what is the internet? What is a mobile credential? So to truly understand mobile credentials, we have to go back in time. And where we're going back to is like the 1980s, which is when these things were invented. This is a sort of a see-through transparent card, and it kind of shows all the different technologies. I'll throw a bigger picture of this up on the screen. But mag stripe technology, this was invented in the 80s. Proximity cards, or the proximity capability was invented in the 90s. And then we've had iterations of this similar technology. You might call it iClass or MyFair DesFire, so some more secure credentials. And now in the 2020s, we're in technologies like CIOS and MyFair DesFire EV3. But ultimately, it's been developed around this sort of antiquated piece of plastic that I have to keep in my pocket. So what we've done as an industry, and what HID has done in particular, is moved our most secure card technology, our most secure card platform or credential platform, from a physical card to the phone. As we all know, what's the one thing we won't leave the home without these days? That's it.
Our phone. Sorry.
Yes. Well, listen, you don't leave home without your lunch or without your phone. And if you did leave your house without your phone, what would you do?
Oh, I'm doubling back.
You turn it around.
Well, actually, given the fact that my phone drives my car, I wouldn't get very far.
That's true. Same. So, whereas if I left this at home, I know, hey, Mike, can you lend me your card to get through the door? Or maybe I'll get a visitor pass for the day.
Or, worst, the dreaded bathroom card.
Yeah, exactly, like you're back in high school, right?
The petri dish of all cards, the bathroom card.
Gross. So now in the 2020s, it's like, what else can I do with my phone, right? And to your point, my car starts with my phone. I can get into my house with my phone. I pay for my meals and the grocery store with my phone. I get into a venue with my phone. My movie tickets are on my phone. But yet we're still carrying this. And what you're really seeing now...
Well, the problem is there's a lot of people who look really good 20 years ago in that photo, and they don't want to give it up.
That's true. And, to the detriment of HID, maybe I'll say something a little untoward here about HID, but these things don't die. Right? And so this picture that I took 10 or 15 years ago, I do have friends that say, oh yeah, I've had this card for 15 years. Look at me when I still had hair.
Right.
Or look at me when my hair was still dark. Like, watching the transition of Bob Barker on The Price is Right, from a dark-haired young man to a gray-haired older gentleman. But Bob Barker's card would still be the dark-haired, young, strapping version of himself when he's credentialing in 2020 or 2015, and he doesn't look anything like this. But these cards don't die; they live on forever. And the bigger problem with that is the technology in these cards. If we are not forward-thinking and we're still using procs, which is a highly vulnerable credential platform, which can easily be duplicated or replicated. And we're still walking around with that for 10 or 15 years, it's not putting the best practice of the security of your facilities in mind. And that's sort of the biggest transition point for me. It's the security of security. It's this layered approach to security where we know that this device, the phone, is the most secure thing on us, and yet we're still using this antiquated technology from the 1980s. So.